Welcome, everyone, on this excellent Easter morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Edmonton. My name is John Sproule, and my pronouns are he, him, and I will be your excellent service leader this morning. I will be joined by our excellent minister, Reverend Rosemary Morrison. We do hope you feel welcome here today. The Unitarian Universalist faith is a creedless community dedicated to free and responsible search for meaning. We embrace a pluralist philosophy, opening our hearts and minds to the diverse ideas, feelings, and expressions of our world community. Whatever your heritage, whatever your faith, whomever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here today. We are one of two Unitarian Universalist churches in Edmonton. We are the Unitarian Church of Edmonton, and so if you're in the wrong place, you should go across to the south side to our colleagues and friends, the Westwood Unitarian Congregation. We respectfully acknowledge that we're located on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional gathering place of diverse Indigenous peoples, including the Cree, Blackfoot, Nakota Sioux, Iroquois, Dene, Ojibwa, Saulteaux, Anishinaabe, Inuit, and many others whose histories, languages, and cultures continue to influence our vibrant community. And we ask that you take a moment now to ensure that your cell phones and your emitting devices are silenced, and silence your nose too during the service. And for those who are hearing impaired, the ushers do have audio aids that are available. And we're glad to have you here this morning. We hope you find something in the service today that nourishes your spirit and helps you find and keep your balance. And before the service, we have a couple of announcements. One from Jeanne. You had an announcement, followed by Kathy, and then Reverend Rosemary. And Declan. Oh, okay.
Good morning. My name is Jeanne McMillan, she, her. I have our church Soul Matters theme this month is joy. And I got to thinking about what brings me joy. Well, right up there is my weekly Chalice rehearsal. So this year we have been focusing on singing the dozens of pieces of music created by our beloved Gordon Ritchie. And he's our composer in residence. And we are going to celebrate all his world premieres, not all of them, because it's got too many. The concert would be very long, but we're going to have a concert, a joyful concert on Saturday, May 10th at 7:30. So tickets are hot off the press. Sue Lynch will be selling them after the service today. They're $20, and you better get them soon because this is going to be a sellout. Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you, Dad.
45, go here.
So here at the Unitarian Church of Edmonton, when other people are celebrating spring, we're celebrating the May garage sale. Yeah. Now I have the dates here. Where did I write the dates down? Thank you. Okay, so very important. Now, something you don't realize is that there's things that you need that you didn't even know you needed. And we have those very things in the hall next door for you. And here's a perfect example. And it's perfect for Earth Day because it doesn't use any power. So you can wash your delicates. Look at this. Kind of looks like a compost bin. Anyway, you can wash your delicates or a sweater. It's a hand washing machine that you never knew you needed. Okay, so we got that part done. We need you to donate prior to the start of the garage sale. So there's things that you thought you needed that you didn't need, or now you don't need them anymore. We need you to donate those to our garage sale prior to the opening of the garage sale. We also need volunteers, especially we actually have a call out for tomorrow morning. We need someone from 10 to 1 to come in. The doors will be open for you, but we need someone to accept donations. It's the casino tomorrow, so a lot of our volunteers are working there. So if someone could come forward and help tomorrow morning, that would really make a big difference. We also need volunteers to price items, to sort items, to work in cashiers. And there's a sign-up board. Now, we have 73 spaces left. Originally, there were 187 spaces for volunteers. So we're ready for you to sign up out on the sign-up there to volunteer. Thank you very much.
Good morning. It's so nice to see you all again. I'm here to tell you about the movie night this Friday, April 25th at 6 p.m. here in the sanctuary. We will be having yet another movie night, and we're going to watch The Florida Project this week in accordance with our Soul Matters theme of joy. If you are not familiar with The Florida Project, you may have heard of the director, whose name I believe is Sean Baker, just won an Oscar for Honora. So if you're looking to dive deeper into the Sean Baker catalog, come on down for a free movie. Please bring your own snacks and drinks, and we will just play a movie for you.
Oh, right.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Wow, what a beautiful group you are. Wow. I'm so pleased and delighted to be here. My name is Reverend Rosemary Morrison, and it is my pleasure and honor to serve this congregation. A couple of things. This service is a service of joy, of celebration, of renewal, of turning the corner, as it were, from winter to spring, from enjoying things that bring us joy. And one of the things, as well as Jeanne, one of the things that I love is music, and I love the piano, and I like to play the piano, and I would like to introduce Andrew Glover. He is with us this morning to provide us with many pieces of music, and I know that we're going to be absolutely charmed. Andrew, thank you for being here with us this morning. Andrea Graham, our own Andrea Graham, will be joining him during the offering, just after the offering. So they'll be doing a piece together. This morning is a celebration of Easter, of renewal, of the end of Passover, of all of the things. I hope you enjoy your time here this morning. Oh, UU's on tap, last Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. Be there, be square. 3 Vikings on 124th. It's in the newsletter.
Thank you very much. And now, if you've all silenced your noise-emitting devices, and those two online, we observe you. And so now for a time, we're going to have a musical prelude, offering each of us time of quiet contemplation and inspiration as we move into the service. And so please silence your hearts and your minds and join us all in listening to Andrew Glover. Thank you, Andrew. Now we have the traditional chalice lighting at the beginning of our service, and I'd like to call on the lovely face who greeted you this morning, Rosemary Faulkner, who is also the going to be coordinating volunteers, so make sure to sign up with her for other greeters to have a welcoming church. And I'll ask her to light the chalice after I say these opening words, Alleluia, by Jeanne, Lloyd. At last we are here. After a long winter, we can say enthusiastically and without second thought, Hallelujah! Spring is here in all its glory. New life begins. The earth and its creatures are resurrected from their dens of hibernation and dark slumber. Spring is here. Long live spring. Long live rebirthing of life into new and creative forms. Long live majestic love that calls us out of our shells into new creative forms. Long live majestic love. Let the husks of our shells crack wide open in celebration of our place in humanity, our place in nature, our place in the universe. Awake. Awake. Rejoice, live life fully, live life together, live life now. Hallelujah. We are called to live life with reverence for that which calls us forth in creativity and love. Rosemary's having to be creative in order to make us live life fully here. Excellent creativity by our minister. Now, if you can rise as you are willing and able for our first hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
For
One of the purposes of this church community is to encourage all who gather here to grow more generous in spirit and action. In addition to supporting this community, we also make a monthly commitment to the wider community. 1/2 of the unidentified cash that is received is given to an outside organization. We take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting church in its many ministries. For the month of April, we are supporting Childhaven International. Inspired by the ideals and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, Childhaven International is a registered charity founded in 1985. They assist children and women in developing countries who are in need of food and education, health care, shelter and clothing, emotional and moral support. And I think yes, we have childhaven.ca. If you wish to receive a tax receipt for your gift, you can use the donation envelope found on the table at the back. And please provide your contact information on the envelope so we can give a tax receipt. Many of the members and friends here give monthly or annually through automatic withdrawal from their accounts. For this, we are very grateful. So please ask the ushers to collect the offering now. Thank you. We thank you for your generosity of spirit and action. And now, as Reverend Rosemary had indicated, we have a lovely, our guest artists are going to provide an offertory music selection. Blue Skies, Andrea Glover, and Andrea Glover. And Andrew Graham, no, reverse it. I'm dyslexic, so that's fine. Okay. But thank you, Andrew and Andrea.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebird singing a song, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never had the sun shining so bright, never had things going so right, noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue skies, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never had the sun shining so bright, never had things going so right. Noticing the days scurrying by, never had things. Oh, so what a surprise! Oh, blue skies following me. Nothing but blue skies will I see, will I see, will I see.
Oh, I'm next. Thank you very much. That was joyful. And now I welcome the opportunity to provide a service leader reflection. I thought about this, and for me, Easter was never a religious event. I actually get some antibodies from the rituals of the Christian faith, but it is a much older tradition. It's believed that the word Easter originated from the name of the pagan goddess Oistra or Ostara. And Oistra was an Anglo-Saxon goddess symbolizing springtime, the hare, and the egg. And the festival of Oistra was celebrated on the vernal equinox, where there were equal periods of light and dark. And for me, my early memory of Easter was an odd one. It told me about the type of person I would become. Obsessed with instant gratification, unable to look at the future, and the need to be helped by others. I was born in Dallas, Texas, and there participated in my first Easter egg hunt in the backyard. I waddled around looking for eggs hidden under bushes and likely put in plain view on chairs and steps. My older brother and sister and I were given baskets to gather eggs. They industriously ran around gathering their treasures. I waddled around, caught sight of an egg, likely with coaching and assistance. I would pick it up, immediately plop down on my rather large diapered bottom and proceed to gobble it down. I would then slowly get up and waddle towards my next little treasure. Just for the image, I was not an attractive baby, more like a little Jabba the Hutt if you've seen Star Wars. After about 20 minutes, my siblings had full baskets, and I had 3 or 4 empty wrappers. This result was something I found to be terribly unfair, and I began to howl and weep. And my twin sister, as she always did, helped me out and dumped a few treats from her basket to shut me up. And my brother, I think, quickly pocketed and hid his. The other memory I have is the slowly growing Ukrainian Easter egg collection my mother slowly gathered over the years, which came out in a large glass bowl every Easter. Beautiful handmade objects. These are called Pizanski. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. Nobody knows exactly when this tradition started, and a number of different origin stories persist, some dating back to before their association with the Easter holiday. According to Sofika Zilek, a New York City-based ethnographer and Pizanka artist, there is a pre-Christian legend which tells the story of a monster, the personification of evil, in the Carpathian Mountains. In that story, the more Pizanki people make, the tighter the chains are wrapped around the monster, keeping it at bay so that it doesn't destroy the world. Professor Zilek recently curated an exhibit of Pizanki at the Ukrainian Institute in America. It was a very successful fundraiser, and said this story of the monster inspired the show. She envisioned Russian President Vladimir Putin as the monster in this case, and the plethora of accumulated Pizanski symbolizes reining him in. Hopefully, we can continue to think of our friends in the Ukraine during this time. My favorite spring poem is called In Just by E. Cummings. That reminds me of what Easter is to me: rebirth, children, old and young, playing and laughter. And so you have a part in this. It's a very short poem, but whenever I whistle, you go wee. So we'll just try to. Great. In just spring, When the world is mud luscious, the little lame balloon man whistles far and wee. And Eddie and Bill come running from marbles and piracies, and it's spring when the world is puddle wonderful. The queer old balloon man whistles far and wee. And Betty and Isabel come dancing from hopscotch and jump rope, and it's spring, and the goat-footed balloon man whistles far and wee. I hope your day is puddle wonderful. And if you're ever stressed today, just whistle far and wee. Thank you. Now, to celebrate spring, I would ask those willing and able to rise physically or in spirit to join in hymn 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. The words will appear on the screen behind and on your screens at home. So Easter is a time of forgiveness, and you all have to remember that when I confess that I actually messed up the order as we were going through. And so now I am moving. When Reverend Rosemary stood up, I should have moved over, but I said, no, what are you doing? You've got to stay there. And so now I am calling her on again, the excellent Reverend Rosemary, to provide activity one.
Yeah, I wasn't about to argue with you up here. Didn't seem like a very good idea at the time. Maybe I should have, but no, I shouldn't have. Today we are celebrating new life and lots of joy, new growth, new beginnings, blessing and respecting the earth. So one of the things that's been going on behind the scenes here in for your reading pleasure is we've been creating new name tags, and we have asked, and one of our members, Lynn Markham, she is a master cabinet maker, and we've asked her to create a new place for you to hang your name tags. So if everyone wants to act like an owl and look at the new cabinet there. Yeah, you can ooh and ah and hoot. Ooh, ooh, yes. We can whistle and wee as well, that's for sure. So what we've designed the name tags look similar to the ones that you had before. And so they've got that ribbon on them that we created, that UCE created before my time during a strategic planning sessions. But you know, you don't have to get rid of your old name tags. Some of you have name tags that have been hand embroidered. Well, I'm not suggesting you get rid of those, but you could put them in the new holder and put a lanyard on it and then hang it up in the cupboard, so that when you come into church from now on, you can go to the cupboard and find your name tag. And it will be an alphabet, the letters will appear, but we're going to look and see where they're grouped. Some of the letters might need 2 hooks, some of the letters might be able to be combined. And so they're not lettered yet, but they will be. Lynn mounted that yesterday for us. It is exquisite and made with very, very well made. It's very heavy, so it has to be mounted on a wall. It can't be anywhere else but mounted on the wall for safety. So, the activity that I have planned for you may or may not work. And that's okay, because what were we practicing today, John? Forgiveness. Forgiveness, yeah, that's what we're all about today, is forgiveness. So, however, we're going to take a couple of minutes, and I'm sorry to those of you online, this is going to be boring. So I might switch things up a bit and suggest that maybe during the candles of celebration and concern, or during the chocolate communion, or any other time, you make your way over to that table. If you're a member or a friend of this congregation, a new name tag a new name will have been made for you. If you are a guest and we don't know you yet, I'm sorry, we don't have one with your name on it. We're good, but not that good. So, you can also find your name tag and pick a lanyard color. And there's also stickers and things. If you want to decorate your name tag, I picked up a ton of stickers for you to make your name tag joyful and creative. I suggest you put them on the outside of the name tag so you can switch them up. So you can change, because, you know, we change, right? We change. And so the stickers you put on your name tag today might not be appropriate for you in 2 months or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. So I'm going to suggest that we decide we're going to do that kind of throughout the service, throughout the rest of the service. We can go and get a name tag, or during the potluck, we're going to be flipping the room, so you'll be able to sit in here and eat. And at that time, you can also go ahead and get your name tag and pick out a lanyard and decorate it, if you wish to decorate it. Okay. There's also some pronoun stickers on there. I thought we had hundreds left. We do not. I will be ordering more, and so they will be out next week, week after, and the week after that forever. So I had no idea we'd gone through so many. I had ordered and for us so many. Okay, now I am going to invite Andrew up again to play for us his choosing of a piece for us to just sit back, relax, and enjoy, and be joyful. Earth Day. Do everybody know that? Yeah? Today is Easter Sunday. And it is also, yesterday was the end of Passover. People everywhere are celebrating the earth that sustains us, the earth that gives us life, and here in the Northern Hemisphere, the change from winter into spring. We here in Edmonton have had plenty of opportunities to experience winter, haven't we? And I don't mind telling you, I'm kind of tired of I had gotten quite tired of it before it was over. But now we've got spring. We experienced the long, cold winter, and then when the snow finally all goes and the crocuses begin to spring out of the ground and even blossom, we can rejoice. I actually have 3 crocuses blooming in my front yard. I'm pretty excited about that, and tulips are making their way. This past week, to me anyway, has felt like a joyful sigh. We no longer need the parkas and scarves, boots and cleats to go for a walk. So delightful. I don't know if you know this, but Earth Day started 55 years ago on Tuesday. And their mandate was to protect the environment. And this year, Earth Day theme is Our Power, Our Planet. Let's think about that theme for a moment, shall we? There is power in numbers. And what does Margaret Mead say? Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. This Earth Day, this spring, I ask you to consider your part in keeping and sustaining our earth. We here in the city can recycle our goods, but what happens to them? Anybody know? And they get picked up, as does our compost. That I know is probably pretty good. We here in Alberta are also aware and live with the competing messages about the oil and gas industry. The Earth Day movement isn't suggesting that you have to stop using non-renewable energy sources. I gas up my car and heat my home with natural gas. However, I'm sure there are things we can do collectively and individually to move in that direction. I sort of think that we're in a time of history like we were a long time ago when there were horses and cars on the roads at the same time. Kind of when combustible engines came onto the scene. And now we're kind of in the same kind, welcome, come on in. Now we're kind of at the same kind of place, aren't we? We've got hybrid cars and all gas cars, and now they're talking about hydrogen engines, and we're talking about, you know, sustainable renewable energy and putting solar panels on your roofs. It's free here in Alberta if you want to get solar panels. But back then, when combustible engines were first invented, there were horses, and there were carriages, and there were stagecoaches, and there was livery stations, and blacksmith shops, and stagecoach stops. Well, probably in those days, it wouldn't have been a good idea to invest in livery stables or stagecoaches, because they were going to get phased out. There was there was only kind of infrastructure for horses and carriages and not for cars. And now we're kind of in that weird time. There's only infrastructure in our society for combustible engines, cars, trucks, things. But it's moving in a direction, isn't it? So we've got to kind of wait for the infrastructure to catch up to us. Thus, those of us that wish to live a more sensitive to the environment life. And we can all do a part. For myself, I have been reducing my use of single-use plastics, well, plastic at all. I use the recycling system, such as it is. And I know it's really hard to move away from plastics, but I encourage you, this is my Easter Easter warning. I encourage you to look into what microplastics are doing to our bodies, especially our brains, and then decide for yourself what changes you may need to make you reduce your risk. Apparently, disposable water bottles are actually the biggest culprit of ingesting microplastics. So I encourage all of you to look at it. There was a New York Times, the most clicked video at the New York Times paper online, and it was talking about microplastics and how harmful it is to our bodies and especially to our brains. So plastic never goes away. It just goes into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, and then we ingest it, and it doesn't, when we can't let it go out of our bodies, and it lives there. It never goes away. So the only way to stop it hurting you is to ingest less microplastics. I also want you to consider, as we're thinking about Earth Day, where our food comes from and where the long journeys that our food makes, and invite you to source your food more locally, especially in the summer when we can. It's really hard in the winter. We can't grow food here in the winter. The ground is frozen solid. It's pretty well impossible. And now there's kind of a a boycott about not buying U.S. products. So where do we get our food from? Mexico travels even further using combustible and non-renewable energy. So I encourage you this summer to look into farm boxes. You go online and see about that, and go to farmers markets and see how much food you can actually consume that is produced here at home. And that is a really big way to move our footprint smaller, to make our footprint smaller. And the thing that this morning, it's Easter, and the thing this morning that people have at the end of their aisles, hopefully there's enough to go around. If not, there's some more chocolate here. But I would like you to think about where chocolate comes from. We're consuming a lot of chocolate this weekend and at Thanksgiving and Christmas and, well, all the time. All the time. I am consuming chocolate all the time. I try to buy fair trade, organic, dark chocolate. But then, of course, you have to give up your firstborn to buy it. But anyway. So we're going to move into a time of thinking about, where does our food come from? Where did the chocolate come from? Is it harvested in a sustainable way? Are people harmed in the harvesting and in the production of the chocolate that we have? I want to guarantee to you that the chocolate that I have brought here for you this morning is not perfect. It is like name brand milk chocolate, Hershey's, like there's Hershey Arrows and all kinds of chocolate that isn't perfect. It's really hard to find in mass quantities for us. So people at the end of the rows, find somebody to go and get your basket and start passing your chocolate around the aisles, please. Those of you at home, if you've got something nearby to go and get and eat while we have our chocolate, don't eat the chocolate yet. You guys did this at Valentine's. It's not time to eat the chocolate. I hope you two grab some for up there, John. So if you're home, grab a piece of chocolate. Make sure you have something in your mouth when we move into this. You getting there? No, they have some on their side. Teresa's going to take. Okay. This should just take a moment to pass around. Okay. Can we bring the lights down just a little bit? Does anybody need more? There's lots here if we run out. You can come and get some more. There we go. Chocolate. I love it. I hadn't seen this one. That's awesome. Does everybody have chocolate? Okay. I invite you to put your feet on the floor. Allow the gravity to pull you. Think about our earth, the renewal of our earth. How it sustains us even though it is wounded and hurting itself. And yet, it brings us life. I invite you to focus in on your breath. Take a couple of deep, long breaths. Then I invite you to unpeel your chocolate. And as you take one of those long, deep breaths, I invite you to inhale it. Smell it. Smell the sugar, the cocoa. Envision in your mind the cocoa, whatever plants, whatever they're grown upon, and people picking them. Can you imagine working in a chocolate factory where they grind the cacao beans? What would that smell like? I invite you to take a bite, or it might crumble. Some of them are hollow. Put it in your mouth. Hope you got one you like. Just let it sit in your mouth if you can. Enjoy the way it melts, how it may trickle down your throat or under your tongue. Appreciate that this was brought to you from a very long, long, long way away. And hundreds of people have made it possible for you to enjoy this. Please go ahead and finish eating your chocolate. Enjoy the feel of it going into your tummy. And we will quietly and smoothly move into a time of lighting candles of joy or concern. If you are new with us, the idea is to grab a taper and then light your taper and light a candle and then extinguish it in the water so there isn't a bunch of smoke coming from it. When you are ready, the tables are ready for you to light your candles of joy or concern. Okay. Could I ask John to come and light one last candle, please, for all the joys and concerns we hold in our hearts as I finish up here, making sure everybody has enough chocolate. That is an oxymoron. No such thing. No. Did I get this row yet? Okay. Oh yeah, I got you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, John, for lighting a last candle of joy or concern for all those joys and concerns that are unmet, unknown sometimes to us even. Sometimes we haven't gotten to the place where we know what it is that is upsetting us, or right around the corner, things could change and turn, just like winter into spring. From sorrow to joy, it can happen just like that. Just like we've been talking about all month long, how joy and sorrow are so intertwined, we can't really separate them. That which has given us joy oftentimes is what we are sorrowful for. And so we may be able to bring a guest into the room at this time. I am unclear. We're flying a little bit by the seat of our pants at this moment. So pray. Relax. How are we doing? Oh, I thought we were bringing Art in. All right, we're not going to do that. We're going to sing instead. Okay. This little light of mine. 118, please rise in body or in spirit as we finish up our morning service.
Each other with each other, and I was going to say it's time to extinguish the flame, but I thought you would think that was too corny of a yoke. But if I would call on Rosemary to extinguish the flame as we end our time together, as I read these words by Reverend Scott Taylor, this joyful game. Kick the ball, dance in the rain, get lost on purpose, fly the kite, smell the flowers, put out the paints, let life take you by the hand, friends, Lean back and let the wind mess up your hair. Open to the joy that's been waiting for you. Behold its delight. Don't you know that you've already won the prize? Now go out and share it.
Before I offer words of benediction, I would like to thank you all for being here in person on this beautiful Easter Sunday morning. And to those of you online, thank you. I would like to extend my gratitude to everyone that has worked hard on this service, to our guest musician, to Tech, to John for being our wonderful service leader. He was, okay, you're going to have to say this with me because you know what I'm going to say. John was excellent. Thank you. Okay, yeah, crack. So also the potluck is today, and also we normally for a potluck, we would go through those doors and tables would be set up and it'd be all, we wouldn't have to worry about too much. It'd be all set up. Well, it's all set up for the garage sale. So we're going to Plan B. And Plan B is that the food is going to be out in the lobby, and you probably saw that coming in. And we were going to need many hands to flip this room into a dining hall. So we'll be eating in here and getting our food in the lobby. For those of you that are staying, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. I'm afraid I can't. I have other engagements, but I'm so excited that you're here, that you're going to be sharing hospitality together. And don't worry if you haven't brought anything. I'm sure there's enough to share. And if there isn't, you can go out for lunch after. I'm sure it'll be fine. I want to invite you to go out into the world full of joy. I want you to go out into the world thinking about your place on this earth. What is your responsibility to it, to Mother Earth, and to being sustainable, living a sustainable life full of health and joy and all the good things that I could possibly wish upon you. Go in peace, gentle people. Go in peace. Amen. And now our postlude, Andrew is going to come and play our postlude for us, after which we will sing Carry the Flame. I will announce that when Andrew is finished. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. It was wonderful. Okay, we're going to sing Carry the Flame. So remember, you don't have to hold hands if you don't want to. We're going to make an odd circle.
Hey, John? Thank you. No gal maid has got a shade on sweet Georgia Brown. 2 left feet, but oh so neat has sweet Georgia Brown. They all die and wanna sigh for sweet Georgia Brown. I'll tell you just why. You know I don't lie, not much. It's been said she knocks 'em dead when she lands in town. Since she came, now it's a shame how she cools 'em down. Fellas, she can't get off, fellas. She ain't met Georgia name, the Georgia name, oh, sweet Georgia Brown. No one's name has got a shade on sweet Georgia Brown. 2 left feet, but oh so neat has sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for sweet Georgia Brown. I'll tell you just why. You know I don't lie, not much. It's been said she knocks 'em dead when she lands in town. It's a shame how she cools 'em down. Fellas, she ain't met a fellas. She can't get a Georgia name, the Georgia